Welcome to The Evidence-Based Marketer, a podcast focused on the science of marketing with a special emphasis on financial services. Whether you're looking to grow your business or provide a better client experience, we focus on how you can use data and research and time-tested strategies to be a more effective marketer.
Hello, everybody. This is William Chettle with Symmetry Partners, and today we're going to talk about how to build a more referable business. And as always, I'm joined by my colleague,
Andrea Loin.
Now, when you survey folks, this is a particular survey that was done of financial advisors, but I believe this holds true across a number of industries and professions. Ask them what their number one fear is, and it turns out it's asking for referrals. In fact, in a survey that was done a few years ago, advisors said they were more afraid of asking for referrals than death.
I could see it, though. It's quite an awkward conversation to have.
Yeah, and really behind that is a very primal fear, and that is the fear of being rejected. What if I ask a valued client for a referral and that client says no? That I'm going to feel terrible. I'm going to feel rejected. I'm going to feel like maybe this person doesn't value my services. And so there's a whole mental framework that is built up of incredible fear, anxiety, and unease. And this is why so many professionals across the board don't ask for referrals. So we're going to actually talk today about how you can come up with a comfortable referral strategy. We've looked at all the evidence. We've looked at a whole bunch of different strategies out there.
And there's a lot.
There's a lot, and try to synthesize it down. And this is really aimed at any profession where you have a client relationship. Now, typically, if you don't have close clients, a lot of times you'll see the for referrals, it'll be refer a friend and you'll get 10% off a free coupon, whatever it is. My credit card is always berating me to refer somebody to get points.
My apps do that too. I get text messages. I get pop-ups on my phone. You can get more if you just send somebody our way.
And it's great. It works. But for a lot of professions, especially professional services, it's probably not going to work so well. I mean, I don't want to go to a lawyer where I got referred by a friend for a 10% discount.
Hey, why not?
But just to give you some key referral facts about why they are so important. People are actually 400% more likely to become clients when referred by a friend. 92% of consumers trust recommendations from people they knew. It makes me wonder about the 8% who are their friends. Referrals actually influence about up to 50% of all purchasing decisions and generate more than 2 times the sales of paid advertising. And that's one of the great things about referrals, unless you're sending out free coupons, is that you actually they don't cost you anything.
Yeah. I mean, we do work with an advisor that sends out a box of steaks for clients that are referred. So that may be a cost to you, but far less than the cost of taking out an ad or having to do advertising on the radio.
And there's just a lot more lifetime value to that. In fact, the lifetime value of a referred client is on average 16% higher than non-referred clients, and referred customers tend to be 25% more loyal and thus more profitable. And when you look at a variety of industries and professions, referrals or getting more referrals are one of the chief ways that they're growing or want to grow. And unfortunately, though, a lot of folks don't have a referral strategy. And so it's sort of like, well, I'd like to grow. I'd like to get more referrals, but I don't actually think about what are the steps I need to do to make that happen. And as we've said many times on this podcast, a goal without a plan is just a wish.
Well, and a lot of people think that, a referral strategy is simply just saying, will you refer someone to me? And there's a whole lot more to the strategy than just asking the question. And it even goes around how you ask the question.
Sure. And so what a lot of people are taught is things like, write down the names of 3 people who could benefit from my services, please. And, that is not a referral strategy.
No.
It also is pretty awkward. Another one that you might hear or people use is, who do you know who could use my services?
I hear that one a lot.
Not a referral strategy. Something I've seen a lot is the highest compliment we can receive is the referral of your friends, family, and business associates.
I see that on a lot of websites, actually.
Yeah, and that is also not a referral strategy, and frankly, it sounds a little desperate. 2 more. I get paid 2 ways, and this is typical for financial advisors. One is the fees you pay, and the other is by referring your friends and colleagues to me. And one client responded to that one, which is, well, I only pay you one way, and if you don't like that, I'll be happy to pay somebody else that one way. But the typical one that you see in a lot of professions is something that goes like this. I just try to be amazing for my clients so they're more likely to refer me.
Oh yes, all the time. I'm so good at what I do. They just send people my way.
Uh-huh. And, it's great to do a good job for your clients, but without a strategy in place, you're not going to be as successful in earning referrals as you could be. And just because people are happy with you doesn't mean they're going to refer you. It may not even occur to them. And one of the things we found is one of the best ways to actually get a referral is to ask for it. Now, that is not a strategy in itself, but it's interesting that about 40 to 50% of referrals, at least in financial services, occurred simply because the financial advisor asked for it.
Right.
So it's really important to think about what you're trying to achieve here. And so we're going to dive in and give you the strategy. The other thing to keep in mind is that referrals across a lot of industries tend to be the most cost-efficient way of growing.
Yeah, they're the most efficient marketing strategy out there by, the additional revenue for each dollar that it's brought in. So you're not spending a lot to bring in new clients. So they're, the return on your investment into that client is much higher.
But before we can get into the system for getting referrals, the most important thing is have a referable business, because even the best system in the world is going to be no good if you're not referable.
Right. And, that goes beyond just what you offer as far as services go. It's going to go all the way through, your whole practice, the people that are there. Make sure, your staff is welcoming to people coming in. It's not just the services or the products that you offer. You need to focus on your whole business and making sure that everything is referable.
Yeah. People have to be having a good experience. The solutions, the service, the advice that you're providing have to be excellent. Mm-hmm. When there are problems, you need to address them quickly. You need to be providing what your clients want. You need to be working with the right clients. So these are all what we would call table stakes.
That's right.
But let's assume you've got all this in place. There's a huge referrals gap. And a study that was done in financial services a few years ago found that for every 100 clients a financial advisor had, 97 referrals occurred. Now, some people were referring 4 or 5 people, some people 1, some people none. But for every 100 clients, you could expect 97 referrals a year. Now, what that ended up in practice is that maybe 18, 20 people would actually call, try to find out more, set up an appointment. Maybe 6 or 8 ended up being clients. So a huge gap between all the people who were potentially or theoretically referred and what ended up becoming actual clients.
If you could turn 97 referrals into clients, then your business would be very well off.
Yeah. So there is, and this I think holds true across a lot of industries. A lot of people are making referrals, but they're not good referrals, or they're not the right kind of referrals. Right. And so part of this, what we're going to talk about, is how you actually educate your clients to make better referrals. Because, you should talk to my guy, or you should talk to my person, is not a really great referral. Now, when you create a referral system, the most important thing, and this is step 1, is start with your best clients. And there are a lot of ways you can do this. You want to get one-on-one feedback from them. It's probably not a bad idea to do client surveys, at least annually. It's not a bad idea to actually interview clients who've made referrals.
Yeah. Why did you refer my practice? That's your easiest way to figure out why you're getting out there.
Yeah. And even more importantly, what did you say?
That's true. Because
the words that people say are probably things that you want to think about in your marketing and messaging. So if somebody refers you and says, well, you provide great service, or you really help me sleep at night, or you really have comprehensive approach and you're caring, whatever those words are, those are probably words that you want to think about. Because that is how your best clients see you.
Yes. And, you want to make sure that those best clients are the clients that you want to work with. You don't want to take, the time to figure out, okay, this client is, might refer me because they know all these people, but they're the hard client, or the client that questions you on everything, or the client that pushes you, on everything that you say to them. That's not your ideal client. You want, someone to refer you to someone very similar to them, someone who's going to listen, who's going to value your advice, and really be a good client for you and a good fit.
And the best firms are relentless about gathering feedback. And the one thing or caveat is that you never want to be annoying about it.
Right.
You don't want to be one of those firms that, you go in for an oil change and you get a survey, you drop off your car for whatever, you get a survey where you just feel like you're over surveyed.
Yep. And that does happen in the industry, in a lot of industries. You think you want to get just a quick question or two, but if you constantly do that, or every time they come in the office, you survey them, it's not going to be a great experience.
And that's the other thing that is annoying for a lot of consumers is, you how was your stay? Great or not great? That's fine. I'm happy to click a button, maybe two buttons, but then it turns into some 20-page questionnaire.
And you have to put your feedback. You have to actually type out a comment before you can submit it. And then I quit. I just cancel out.
Yeah. And this problem led I think it's actually been copied by a couple of people. You've probably seen those buttons where, at like in bathrooms, you've seen them at like food kiosks, etc. How was your experience? It's red, yellow, green. That's all. And you just click the button.
I haven't come across that. I would love that in some of the places I go. That would be nice to
There's
see.
one in the Bradley Airport men's bathroom.
Oh, haven't been there.
But there are actually a number of them, and it's a great way. Probably not appropriate for like doctors' offices,
right? Or your financial advisor.
Or your
You probably
financial
don't
advisor.
have that in
but
there.
for certain businesses, really appropriate and a very easy way to get feedback. So, step one. Start with your best clients. Have a culture of feedback. Have a culture of getting it in a comfortable and easy way. And actually, the other important thing is act on the feedback you get. Now, if one person says something, that's interesting. If 2 or 3 people say something, that's probably something you want to work on or address.
And you'll want to address it with them. Use your CRM or any way that you have to manage your contacts, and put in there that they had this comment or this feedback for you, so that the next time you're sitting with them you can address it, and then explain to them how you have taken care of it on your side.
Some people say, well, I'm really don't want to survey my clients because what if they don't like what I'm doing?
That's important, because they're definitely not going to refer people to you,
and they might leave you.
They
But
might leave.
it's interesting. It's like when I was a kid and I knew that I could protect myself against the monsters outside my bed if I just put the sheet over my head. Right? They would never come and get me. I'd be perfectly
they weren't
safe.
going to get you up.
And hiding from feedback. It's never comfortable to hear things that your clients are unhappy or that things could be better. But it's also an opportunity. And one of the things we've seen with client service or satisfaction surveys is that fixing a problem is actually a better guarantee of great client satisfaction than just doing a great job all the time.
Yeah, and it leads to greater client retention. That client understands that you heard them and you took their feedback and you valued it, instead of just pushing it off to the side that it was just a complaint.
And the stories that consumers tell about brands and companies are usually about something went wrong, and this company went above and beyond to fix it.
Yeah, and you're seeing that more and more digitally. People have social media profiles out there, and they can refer people simply based on service, right? That my product came damaged, but the company was on it and the customer service was great, and I will buy from them again. That's going to refer other people as well.
Yeah, and online surveys, likes, etc., are a form of referral. Now, it's not a personal referral, but we all, if we're looking to buy a product or service, we all look at those reviews, and we're generally not going to buy something that has a lot of negative feedback and a lot of low star rating, and we're going to look seriously at stuff that has high feedback rating.
There's a lot more transparency into your business now because of the social media platforms and the digital ecosystem in general, that you have to make sure that you can respond to, not in our industry, but in other industries, you can respond to comments, to reviews. If someone gives you a bad review and you respond and take care of it, people see that as well. So there are ways that you can, be on it. And like William said, don't see it as a negative. See it as a way to get better and a way to improve, which will get you more clients.
And what's really important when responding, whether it's online or in person, is never be defensive.
Right.
Because if you're defending yourself, you're losing.
Mm-hmm.
The best response is, I'm sorry this happened. I'm sorry you feel this way. Here's what we're going to do to fix it.
Yeah, and that again will retain the client, and if other people can see it because it's online, it'll help them understand you and how you handle your business.
So once you've, created this culture of surveying and feedback, step 2 is to have this particular referral conversation. Make a list of 10 clients, and could be smaller, could be larger, but 10's a good, comfortable number for a lot of folks, you'd like to replicate and who value your work together. So put down the 10 clients that you like the most, would love to have more clients like them, and then call each of these clients up and say this: we're considering some changes in how we go about marketing at our firm, and I could use your help. Could we meet for 15 minutes or so I could ask you some questions? And what's really important is could use your help. We are very, as humans, kind of socially conditioned when people say, could you help me?
To help.
To help.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if it's people we know and like. So almost everybody's going to say yes, because again, they're valued clients, they like you. And then, you could meet for coffee, you could do this over Zoom, whatever's going to be comfortable for you and the client. But when you meet, say something like this: I've really enjoyed working with you, and I would love more clients just like you. If you were me, how would you go about that? And then shut up.
Listen.
And listen. And you're going to get one of 3 responses. You're going to get one is like a, don't know. That's okay. And then you just pivot and talk about the weather or whatever's happening in the client's life. They're going to say, that's a great question. Could I think about that some more? And that's fine too, because sometimes, this is something that requires a little bit of thought, and chances are that it might take them 5 minutes to think of things. It might take them a couple of months, and they'll come back to you and say, hey, that conversation we had, here's some thoughts for you. But whatever they say, when they do come up with ideas, is probably something you want to take seriously. And the third thing they could say is, yeah, you should do X, Y, and Z, and probably you should talk to Joe, Bob, and Jane.
Yeah, and that's what you'll get. You're asking for the referral without asking for the referral. That question that everyone dreads to do.
And you've helped make the client an active collaborator in your success. And that's a good feeling for a lot of people, because we like to be associated with successful enterprises, firms, companies, brands, etc. And
you look good if, I would look good if you as my financial advisor are doing well and helping my friends. Yeah. So,
but this could be almost any profession. I mean, if let's just say you got a landscaping business, you could still say, I've really enjoyed working with you, and I'd love more clients just like you. If you were me, how would you go about that?
It does. It works across industry.
Across industry. So it's not just financial services. Step 3 is making sure you educate clients on all you do. Chances are, unless you do something very focused and niche, you probably have a bunch of services that your clients, even your best clients, are not using and may not even be aware of.
Yeah, that's the big thing. A lot of clients come in for one reason. In any industry, in financial services, maybe it is a parent passed and they've come into wealth, or they're about to retire. There's one specific reason, but they don't know you have all these additional services that you can offer because your website just says you're a financial planner. Or when they call, you don't say, well, we can also help with this. Or in your meeting, you don't address the things that you can also do for them.
Right. Your landscaping clients may not know that you also can do tree trimming. They may not know that you can actually help with, preventative care. Whatever it is, there's probably a lot of things. They've seen you in one way.
Yep.
And you offer a lot more. And this is important because it allows you to expand your business relationship with the clients, because, you can do that and that for me as well. Great. I have a need there.
Well, the person who does our lawn every summer recently went into also offering snow plowing in the wintertime. We have a very long driveway. He simply left a flyer and then knocked on the door as he was finishing up for the last time in the summer and said, did you know we can do this for you? And that's who's plowing our driveway now, because I know his work is good here, and I didn't know he did this.
Yep. And it's super easy just to keep it with that same person who you trust and having to find. Yep. So, and the other thing is when you educate clients on all that you can do, and it's probably a good idea to re-educate them periodically on what you're doing for them and what you could be doing for them. It also reminds them of, I don't need this particular service, but I know somebody who does.
Right. Or they're talking to someone who says they need this, and you're not getting that service, but your advisor offers it.
If you had a short driveway, you probably wouldn't
Yeah.
need slow plowing, but you may know friends or colleagues or family who have very long driveways and could benefit from
Yes.
this. And you would then happily refer, oh gosh, this guy who cuts my lawn also does snow clearing now.
Yeah, because it saves you time from having to research and find and call. It's right there for you.
So once you've educated clients on all you do, you also need to educate clients on how to refer. And often you'll find the difference between a good referral and a bad referral is specificity. You should call this person; he's amazing. You should call this financial advisor; she does a great job. Is not
Right.
is not a referral.
It's friendly, it's great, but there needs to be more, specific ways that advisor can help a problem.
Yeah. And so in the financial advisor circumstance, a good referral would be something like, my financial advisor has helped us, put in place a plan so we can retire early at 62 instead of 65. That's specific. Or, I was thinking of selling my business, and my financial advisor gave me some great advice, and I know you're thinking of selling your business, so you should probably give them a ring. What were the specific problems that you helped solve for this person? And so when you talk to your clients, when they say, I'd like to refer you to Jane or Joe, whatever, say, could you just talk a little bit about, when you do that, about your experience with me and the specific areas that I've helped you?
Yeah, and the other thing is, going back to that, educating clients on all you do, when you educate them that way, you are opening up that next generation, right? So you're helping with X service, but their children may need this other service that you do. They didn't know you offer it. They're not going to refer their children to you. If they do know you offer it, you've now got another client, and probably for the lifetime.
Yeah. And even your lawn mowing guy, just saying, hey, you should talk to my lawn mowing guy is not as good a referral as saying he does an amazing job. He really is very careful about, not running over flower beds. He does a great job of bagging up all the leaves and waste, whatever it is.
Yes. Well, and a lot of, service industry folks who are out there, roofers and, painters and construction folks have started putting out signs in the front of the yard. Even our tree trimmer does it. Here's a sign that says, I did this because it looks nice, and you're going to use this house as a referral for other businesses. And you'll notice on streets, you'll see 2 or 3 of the same sign.
Yep.
Because somebody drove by, saw what was happening, and they, either went and talked to their neighbor to find out, or just gave them a call because they liked what they saw.
Sure. Yeah. No, there's a house two doors out from me that's being redone, and there's very prominent signs about who's doing it.
Yep.
And you can check in, look almost daily, and say, oh, it's looking better and better and better.
Yes. Yep.
And that wraps up part 1 of building a more referable business. Join us for part 2 when we dive in deeper into our actual process for how you can earn more referrals. I'm William Chettle. On behalf of everyone, thanks so much. And if you want more information on other episodes and bios, all those fun stuff, go to theevidencebasedmarketer.com.
Symmetry Partners, LLC is an investment advisory firm registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission. The firm only transacts business in states where it is properly registered, excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration of an investment advisor does not imply any specific level of skill or training and does not constitute an endorsement of the firm by the Commission. No one should assume that future performance of any specific investment strategy, product, or non-investment related content made reference to directly or indirectly in this material will be profitable. As with any investment strategy, there is the possibility of profitability as well as loss. Due to various factors, including changing market conditions and/or applicable laws, the content may not be reflective of current opinions or positions. Please note the material is provided for educational and background use only. Moreover, you should not assume that any discussion or information contained in this material serves as the receipt of or as a substitute for personalized investment advice. Please note that nothing either stated or implied on this podcast is intended to be compliance or legal advice regarding your marketing program.